They are images the Salvadoran government wants seen. The transfer of inmates from one prison to a new one. Its official name is CICOT, the Spanish abbreviation for Terrorism Confinement Center. The transfer was filmed and released by the government, along with a message from the Justice Minister.
Pandilleros terroristas que están siendo trasladados.
He calls the men terrorist gang leaders and says they'll never be back on the streets. The CICOT facility is spread over 410 acres, about 80 kilometers from the capital. It has 8 cell blocks, each with 50 cells. They'll be cramped. Each cell is set to house 100 inmates, with only 80 bunks and just 2 sinks and 2 toilets. The president of neighboring Colombia said earlier this month the images of the prison gave him chills and called it a concentration camp.
El campo de concentración del Salvador.
Now, El Salvador insists it needed the new space for its crackdown on crime. After 87 people were killed in gang violence in just a few days in March of last year, the government declared a state of emergency. It suspended some rights, including the right to a lawyer, and increased the amount of time people can be held without being charged. Over the last year, more than 65,000 people have been rounded up. The government is set to extend the anti-gang measures. And the head of the National Police says it's needed to continue the fight. While human rights groups say hundreds of innocent people have been swept up and dozens have died in police custody. One local group says it's documented more than 3,300 human rights abuses. Now, that doesn't mean the measures haven't been popular. Murders in 2022 dropped 57% from the year before. Walls that would have been covered in gang markings are being painted over. A poll last month pegged support for the state of emergency at 92%. There's more security, this mechanic says. I can walk with my young children. Before, I didn't even take them out. El Salvador already led the world in the number of prisoners per capita. The new facility is pushing it further into the lead. It now has an estimated 2% of its entire population behind bars. Mike Armstrong, Global News.